athletics.hancock.college.edu. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges. We missed a kickoff, which is a penalty, and pass interference. They have a 1st and 10 at midfield, and the handoff going into the backfield, smothered at the 46-yard line. So we started this game thinking, hey, they're just going to run the ball, and then they threw it deep, an intended pass to Kajon Lakes from Gavin Grandal.
And you know, that's something I think was supposed to be like an off play. Of course, everyone's looking for the run against the Bulldogs. They've got a 6 running back deep kind of stable going on, so they're going to run as much as they can.
Eddie Battle, the leading rusher from last week, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's in the backfield right now for the Bulldogs on a 2nd and 6. Handoff going to Battle. Battle looking to the left side and is stuffed. He'll get forward progress for 1 yard.
This Ventura defense is working really hard to play downhill. They're going to do everything they can to keep the Bulldogs from getting into a rhythm with the run game because that's what Hancock's going to try and do. Grind them down, wear them out early because they know the deeper the game goes, the more they can keep those fresh legs going for the running back core. Like we said, it's 6 deep, so that's the plan.
One receiver on each side. Handoff going up the middle. Oh, tripped up. Only going to get about 1.5 yards, but there's some extra love from a couple of the players after the play, and it'll be a penalty.
You know, if that's your definition of love, there's going to be a lot of love in this game. Real brotherly fraternity deal. We might be even Philadelphia, as a matter of fact, because these two teams will not get along this entire game. I expect a number of personal fouls. Last year, this game came down to a muffed fumble almost. As a bad snap under center, and then a missed extra point that kept Hancock from winning it. Hancock was very close to having an undefeated season last year, and this one game against Ventura tripped him up. So expect a lot of after-play antics.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Ventura is looking to win this game. They gave up 717 yards of offense last week in a 48-24 loss against Saddleback as the number-ranked 1. Nice high punt. Going to be caught and fumbled and recovered by the Bulldogs at the 30. No fair catch was called. He didn't even get under the ball. He sort of just reached out his fingertips.
Kurt McDonald did a great job recognizing that there's no fair catch called. As soon as the ball's in the receiver's possession on that punt, he's legal to be hit if he is not called a fair catch. There's no halo rule once the ball is in your possession. So comes in, just makes a little play, and gets the ball loose. This will put the ball back into the hands of the Bulldogs, and they've got to make something happen here. That last drive, the only progress really came from that pass interference down the field. So there's a lot of work to be done here.
I don't know about you fans at home, but it is difficult to see these Hancock numbers. But right here, they're I formation, one receiver on the near side at the 30. Handoff to the right side. Forward progress going to about the 26-yard line. And the Bulldogs will have a 2nd and 6.
That 3-yard chunk should be enough to find something to work with. I mean, the right side of the line was very effective on that play. I especially liked the push by the guard. I can't quite see his number, like you said, it's white on gray, but fantastic work by the O-line on the right side, getting that chunky yards for the running back.
Terrence Rayner in the game as the running back, 2nd and 6. Rayner with the ball, looking for a hole. Pushes forward for an extra yard, and he'll be down at the 24.
Rayner, the kind of set in this second set of running backs, it's kind of hard to distinguish which set offensive coordinator Ed Herman prefers going with, as, like we said, it's 3 sets of rotating backs, and that wasn't just him trying to figure out who he wanted as a starter in the first game. This is how he plans to go until it stops working, so they're all kind of fighting for a starting job.
Well, Desmond Newkirk in there is the 3rd running back this drive, getting a pitch. And looking to the outside, cuts inside at the 20. He's got first down, and he'll be down at the 19 for a Bulldog first down.
There's a little subtle move that I like from Newkirk there. He lowered his shoulder as if he was going to take the hit, then immediately picked himself back up and accelerated past the defensive back trying to make the tackle. Gave him that little bit of extra room to blow past the defender and get a new set of downs. It's subtle moves like that that make a running back great from good.
1st and 10, Bulldogs, 19-yard line. Rasan Young lined up on the near side. Hannoff goes to Battle. Battle on the right side. Gets past the 15 down to the 14. Rather, that is Rayner with the ball.
Looked like Chris Owens stepping up on that tackle, and he was coming from that safety position, just playing downfield, and that's going to be something that you see a lot from Ventura. That safety position is going to have to come up into the box, play physically, and really attack at the point of contact. They can't wait for the play to come to them.
Newkirk in the backfield. Handoff goes to Newkirk, hit in the backfield, moves forward past the 14. He's going to get maybe half a yard on that.
Right there, that is the outside linebacker coming in completely unchecked by the left tackle. And when you're on that backside, you at least got to chip the end before you leave and go for a second-level defender, because if you don't chip him, that's exactly what happens. They're going to have an unguarded run straight at your running back while he's getting the handoff.
Grondal getting the play from Newkirk, who just came in. 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Handoff going up the middle, still on his feet, hit from behind, brought down at the 13-yard line. And it looks like Edgar Zacharias is going to go in there for a field goal attempt.
You know, that had a lot more potential than it showed initially on the run. There's an unbalanced set by Hancock. They actually had a tight end next to the guard, next to the center. So the defense wasn't perfectly aligned for what they were running. I think schematically that's a good set for them to run out of. I just don't know if physically the line executed on what was there.
So it's going to be a 31-yard attempt for number 31, Edgar Zacharias, out of Pioneer Valley. Easily one of the top kickers on the Central Coast from last year. Ball's down. Kick looks blocked, and it comes up short. Looked like it was tipped by Brett Moyer. And it's going to be no good, and Ventura will take over 1st and 10.
Well, Katie England and Zacharias were having a conversation coming back. You know, that's a specialist group that's real tight. One's acting as the holder while he's, in that field goal set, while the other one's the kicker. And punters and kickers have kind of an adversarial relationship, so they're talking about what could have gone better there. So I expect a little bit of an adjustment when they go back out for their next field goal.
So if you were tuning in to watch a St. Joe player, Dino Maldonado, you're not going to see him, as Nevin Wen, the starting quarterback, and the handoff going to Chuck Wick. Wick getting to the 23-yard line before he's stopped.
And Wen is a little bit different than Maldonado. He does not have the same impressive statistics. Maldonado has been fantastic for the Pirates this year, amassing about 45 completions through 2 games and 62%. Wen down by 43% completion rate.
So went back to pass, looking to throw. Throws an easy pass, wide open. And it's going to be Matisse with the hit, but helped out with a couple defenders and nobody covering the flat on that side.
Typically, that's the job of the weak outside linebacker, and I think he just fell on that play fake. He started looking and flowing to the strong side of the play, left nothing to cover the flat, and that's an easy pickup by the Pirates.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Man in motion. Wen hands it off inside. No one there. He's got lots of room at the 30, brought down at the 26-yard line. And that was Kurt McDonald with the stop and wide open hole up the middle.
Absolutely. A pin and pull sweep by
past the 25 down to about the 22-yard line.
Expect a lot of those zone blocking schemes throughout this game for the Pirates. They're a much more new school team as far as play design goes. You're going to see some run-pass option out of them. You're going to see some quick screens. You're going to see zone blocking schemes. Meanwhile, Hancock kind of more old school, run the ball, be aggressive, and assignment blocking.
Wen back to pass, looking to his right, throwing to his right, and it's intercepted, and it's at the 30, at the 40, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds just past midfield. So a big turnover for Wen, and it's going to be, he's going to say he's down at the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs. Hancock with the turnover, or takeaway rather, and a new set of downs.
Looked like Josh Patrick on that interception for the Bulldogs. Read the play perfectly out of his zone coverage and just put his hands up at the right time to pull it down, and not a lot of people left to catch him. So compliment to the Pirate athleticism to slow him down and get a tackle before that was a pick six, but all the makings of a great defensive call by the Bulldogs and great execution by the players.
You know, it was a Pirate who intercepted the ball. Former Pirate from San Ynez. First and 10 at the 47-yard line for the Bulldogs. One receiver on the near side, I formation. Grandal fakes the handoff, looking for his receiver. He's going to take it himself, has a couple blocks, and runs out of bounds. Is hit pretty late, and a flag coming in.
And that's just the correct call. He was trying to dodge the stick there for the first down marker and got hit after he hit that first down marker. That's unacceptable. So that is the first flag. After that, a second flag inside the bench of Ventura. So this may not have been a player involved in the play. This could be happening after the fact on the bench, and that's nothing you want to see as a coach.
And it'd be really frustrating if it wasn't even a guy in pads.
That's also a possibility. I mean, once you get into the sideline penalties, the Pandora's box is open. I mean, from a kind of out-of-bounds scenario, it was a guy not even playing the game that they just told him, get out of the stadium, man. You have no business being here.
So Grandal's going to be credited a 7-yard pickup if this is a Pirate penalty, as the Zebras down there talking amongst themselves, trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, if this is a Pirate penalty for the first one, I think that's pretty clear cut. It's going to depend on what the second one is.
So personal foul, late hit against Grandal. Offsetting penalties. I don't know if I like that.
I mean, I didn't see what it was, so there could have been some
one was
extra business
during the play,
after
one was
the play.
dead ball. So don't you think they would
They
mark
were
it 15 yards?
By definition, they were both dead ball. You can't have a late hit during the play.
Oh, that's true.
So two dead ball penalties are just going to offset. Play counts.
Touche. So it's going to be 2nd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Young lined up on the near side. Handoff going left side. Diving forward inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs.
Both Herman and Dutra love these two tight end sets. They're great at coaching their tight ends to down block and generate those kind of blocks that open up lanes on the backside as well, using that tight end position. So I expect to see a lot of double tight sets because Ventura's a fantastic team. You got to throw some stuff that's not that common. Two tight end sets out of I formation, not that common in today's football.
If you're keeping score at home, that was Maurice Smith with the carry. Battle back into the game. Handoff going to Battle. Battle looking to the outside. He's at the 40. He's got a block. He's at the 30. There's a penalty coming in. He's running out of bounds inside the 20. We'll see who the penalty is against. If it was a hold by the Bulldogs.
I was going to say, I got a hold here on Rashawn Young. So you referring to the shape that the blocking scheme makes. The hops out and gets out to the outside, opening up a lane to the right of the tight end, and gave a huge lane for the Bulldogs to run through.
Result in a first down.
That's just a boneheaded play by the wide receiver. You want to get physical and get involved in the blocking scheme. You still need to keep your hands to the inside. You still have to play by the same rules that the offensive line does. And as a wide receiver, you've got the feet to stick with the guy. Just keep moving your feet, make the play with your body.
Smith back into the game from Richmond Hill, Georgia. Quick pass out to Young. Young looking up the sideline, gets past the 35 out of about the 32, and some more jawing going on near this sideline with some of the Ventura players.
This is going to be Wes and Nusium for the Ventura Pirates, just getting into it with the Bulldogs both in the play and on the sideline. I mean, this can't be continued. This is going to end up being disastrous. We're only in the first quarter, and you're taking that much offense to a simple screenplay. Get your head on straight.
There's a lot of penalties so far. One receiver on the near side. Handoff going. And forward progress is going to be marked at about the 30, and that's close to the first down marker, and they're going to call it first down.
Good first down there, and this is literally power run. That is what that play is called. Just getting the guard to get up to the second level, getting the block on the linebacker. Unfortunately, play side, you had some leaks by the defensive end, and they were able to get him by the line of scrimmage. But I think the offensive line is starting to get some wear on this defense. They're not able to stand up to the blocks as well as they were at the start of this game.
1st and 10, 30-yard line. Handoff. Nice blocks. Getting almost to the second level, out to the 26-yard line for a 4-yard pickup.
And that's Maurice Smith, the running back, it was Maurice Smith, the running back, just powering it through, getting a handful of yards. going to be down near the 26-yard line. And, there's not much to be said outside of the fact that this is just power offense. This is what you want to see out of the Bulldogs here early. They're winding down the Pirates, and the Pirates already got their hands on their hips. They're catching their breath. They're getting worn down.
Eddie Battle in the backfield. Young on the near side. Double tight end set. Pitch going to Battle. Battle has his fullback in front of him. Oh, helmet comes off, and he'll get forward progress to the 28-yard line. That's going to be a 2-yard loss and a dangerous play.
Eddie Battle just need to put his feet on the ground and get run into that outside. He let the inside defender catch him on that pitch play, but the outside defender was blocked. A lot of room to get upfield, and if he had really put his head down, we've seen what he can do when he's got a head full of steam and he's running like he's in the open field. I think he's just a little bit hesitant and ended up being a play for a loss.
Smith bringing in the play. 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Young on the near side. Man in motion. Fake handoff. Pass going to the tight end, but it's behind him and incomplete. That was intended out of Phelan, California.
And throwing behind a tight end is a tougher catch than throwing behind a wide receiver. Tight ends have so much more mass and power behind them. To make that stop, turn, and grab is a much bigger ask out of a tight end than someone like a wide receiver who might be half the size and sometimes a few inches shorter, just because they're going to be so much more agile on the outside. Tight ends, you got to get it on the money.
45-yard field goal attempt here for Edgar Zacharias. Cade England on the hold. Ball is down. Was a bounce, and it's going to be no good. And it looked like that snap bounced on the ground. Cade was able to get it in position for Edgar to kick, but just couldn't get it there.
And that's one that the timing was off on. He needed to get it up before it got blocked or taken right off the tee. So that's a situation where you're going to put that against the kicker on the stat sheet. I'm not sure you can pin it on him in reality because that kick wasn't there on time, and it messed up his entire timing of the leg swing. Every part of that kick was off.
It's that 3-person partnership right there.
Exactly.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. When in pistol formation, fake handoff to Wick. When on the run, throws it, falls incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down.
You talk the differences between quarterbacks and what one guy brings that another guy brings. I'm not sure that the scheme has been kind to win because they're asking him to make these throws on the run and get outside the pocket a little bit more. He doesn't look comfortable once he's beyond that tackle position. And I'm not sure he's got the coordination to throw on the run that we know Maldonado has from his time at St. Joe. So I think they've got to adjust it a little bit more and keep him in the pocket more than they're used to.
When with a man in motion, handoff to Wick. Wick up the middle. Hit at the 34 and brought down at the 36-yard line. Good pickup there on 2nd down, makes it 3rd and short.
And they're going to hurry this one up.
3 receivers on the near side. When hands off to Chuck Wick, and Wick going to get enough yards for the 1st down at the 39-yard line.
And they're going to try and keep this moving fast because they have a very simple scheme set up where Wynn's looking at the line, seeing if he likes what he wants as a run play. If it's there, he's going to hand it off. Otherwise, he's going to pull and toss it. It's the basis of what's called the run-pass option, and it's been working so far on this drive.
So when in the backfield with Juan Gayton, man in motion, shovel pass to the man in motion, number 2, and he's only going to get a couple yards, and there's a nice big pile there. And it was Chris Atkins on the reception there. And he's out of Downey High School in Compton, California.
Yeah, that one might go in the scorebook as a run just because it was close enough to be a handoff. But as you said, technically it passes. Both hands were off. And if that had dropped to the ground, would have counted as an incomplete pass.
I'm going to correct myself. Downey is in Downey. His hometown is Compton. 2 backs in the backfield with Wynn. Atkins in motion. Handoff going to Wick. Wick, nice tackle.
Cameron Brown almost got too far upfield, which will drive a defensive coordinator crazy. Just finds his setting about a yard behind the line of scrimmage and grabs the runner as he goes by. Fantastic job pulling him down and forces a 3rd and long. This would be very different with any amount of yardage beyond what they gave him.
So Wen with 2 receivers on each side. Gayton in the backfield. Back to pass, looking to his left. Scrambling to his right, under pressure. Throws downfield, a penalty coming in. Not sure what it's going to be. I imagine it might actually be against the Bulldogs.
I'm not sure what this penalty is going to be because it was thrown where there wasn't a lot of people around at the point that he was throwing it. So this could be any number of things. Yeah, it's going to be defensive holding. They're going to say that they prevented him from running a route. The Bulldogs, as they were getting ready to finish out that drive, and with Wen in the backfield, you got to make him play quarterback. You can't give him these free yards.
So first down inside Bulldog territory at the 49-yard line. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 receiver on the near side. Gayton in the backfield, handoff going to Gayton. Gayton hit immediately by the Bulldogs. We'll see when he turns his back. Now we can see his number. Number 29, that's E.J. Barrera.
When you think about Hancock College, you think about a few things. One, you think about smash mouth offense, good run blocking, linemen and tight ends. Another thing you think about that's not as publicized, the defensive linemen have been phenomenal in recent years.
2nd and 11. When giving it to Gayton. Gayton all the way inside to the 45-yard line, and clock stoppage there. Helmet came off.
Yeah, you're going to force him to leave and come back into the field. And that helmet rule is one that is a weird one for me because it's not as easy as just keeping a helmet on. You've got a bunch of defenders hitting you. It's going to shift around. It's hard to actually just keep your helmet on sometimes.
3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Wick in the backfield. Wen hands it off to Wick. Wick hit immediately and brought down. Loss on the play.
That's an important place to get a loss on the play because any further, this would have been for sure go for it territory. And here, the Pirates are going to come out and try and punt it. I keep an eye out for a fake here. It's 4th and, I'll say long, medium-ish. This is still within a gettable range, and they're not going to get too pass or run out of this formation, and they are going to change formation.
Run, and it stopped immediately. Bulldogs. And Seth Mataisi sniffing that one out and gaining yards on that play.
Yeah, it stepped on your feet a little bit there. But it was like, of course you're going to fake it. You spent so long to get the punt unit out. It's clear you're trying to draw something up, and there's the fake. I mean, I can't believe that they changed formation to do it. That's immediately signaling that you're going to fake it and tipped it off to the defense. I mean, great on the Bulldogs for executing on that, but I feel like that was sniffed out by Ventura themselves, just waving and saying, hey, guys, this is a fake. We're going to run this one here.
And Seth Mataisi, one of the lead tacklers from last week for the Bulldogs. How do you leave him unblocked? So I formation for the Bulldogs, 1 receiver on each side, and it's going to be Grandal with the pass attempt, or he's going to run it. He's going to throw it out of bounds. Caught very efficiently by Weston Holdren, the linebacker, but unfortunately, he's on the sideline, not an eligible receiver.
The player box is far enough out that you no longer have that big white boundary separating you. I can see why there is the mistake, but smart play, just thrown away. He had some turnover issues last week, throwing 4 interceptions. So, just throw it away. Don't risk it.
2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. And we're going to have a clock stoppage here. Not sure why.
Equipment malfunction. I think they're telling someone to tuck a jersey in. Oh, no, they're going to
add some time on the play clock as we are nearing the end of the first quarter here in this top 20 matchup in California junior college football. 2 receivers on the far side, I formation. Grandal hands it off this time. Newkirk with the ball, getting all the way to the 44-yard line. A little extra love there at the end of the play.
And this is going to be one of those games where in hockey, they're going to say, oh, you finish every check, you do everything. This is going to be, you finish every tackle, then you hit him again. You keep doing it until you hear the echo of the whistle off the Buena High School, scoreboards down the block about a half mile. This is going to be a violent game here, and this is going to be tough and personal for each team.
Same formation, 2 receivers on the far side, but it's going to end the first quarter. And the Bulldogs will 3rd and 5 coming back out of the break. You're listening to Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I am Charles Summer. With me on color is Stephen Hodges. We have a 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs to start the second quarter. Score is 0-0. Two receivers on the near side. I formation. Handoff going up the middle. Nice hole on the right side. And he's going to go to the 15, the 10. Oh, he's going to be tripped up by Travis Calloway, and that was DJ Whitmill on the carry, and that might have been one of his first carries of the game.
Yeah, DJ Whitmill hasn't seen much time tonight and definitely hasn't made an impact like that yet tonight. Fantastic job finding the hole that was perfectly set up by the lineman. And we talked about how the right side was doing a good job in the first quarter rather. Here they continue that. Nice little fold opens up, great alignment, and it opens a giant hole for Whitmill to find the open field.
1st and goal, Bulldogs, 2 receivers on the near side. Newkirk in the backfield. Handoff going to Newkirk. Newkirk looking for that right side is tripped up. And it's going to be about a loss of a half a yard. It looked like it was Corey Owens on the stop.
Right now, I think Hancock's got to learn to trust Grondal a little bit. You look at the outside and how tight the defensive backs are playing the wide receivers, and the fact that the safeties walked up almost to the line of scrimmage, that room is back there to open up the passing game a little bit. They just got to trust the quarterback to make the throw, and here it's a risky spot down on the goal line.
Whitmill in the backfield. Going to get the carry, get inside the 5, and is going to be brought down at about just past the 5. Or at the 5.
Yeah, Whitmill set up this goal line push, and he's pretty keen on ending it right there. Gets down to the 4-yard line. Yeah, well, they moved it back to the 5. You're right. After all of that, they just keep it at the 5, and he's got to look that that's a great chance to end it there. Took some defenders with him a couple more yards and got it near the goal line, but he wants that touchdown. You can tell by the way he's running.
Newkirk in the game. And it's going to be a pass play, and he's going to throw it. Overthrows his receiver in the back of the end zone. It looked like he was going to be able to run towards the pylon, but thought better of it. Ends up an incomplete pass. It's going to be a 4th down, and Zacharias is going to come in for his 3rd field goal attempt of the game. First one tipped at the line. Second one, bad snap. And Bulldogs looking for 3rd time's a charm right now.
Well, that's the right play call there. The tight end was late on his route and gave Grondal no chance to make the completion. I think they're going to go back to that well because there's something there.
Ball is down. Ball is up, and it doinks on the outside of the right upright, and it is no good. So the game remains scoreless, 0-0 with 12:53 left to go here in the second quarter of play.
Pirates breathing a sigh of relief right there because that's the 3rd one in a row, and that was the most gettable field goal yet. Hancock has got to be shaking their head. The offense has been working. Defense has been working overtime, and special teams not getting the job done. It's a 3-phase game, and that 3rd phase has yet to show up here, and that could cost them later on. Last year was a 1-point game.
2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. And Chuck Wick with a nice spin move getting down to the 26-yard line. Now, when they try the field goal, they pull it out to the 20, right?
Yeah, if it goes out of the back of the end zone, they pull it out to the 20 on the field goal. So basically a touchback here is what Ventura is working with. I think it's especially when the ball starts within the 20. So Ventura not operating out of the shadow of the goal here.
2 receivers on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side. Bulldogs showing blitz. Fake handoff. And Wynn has some open room. He's at the 40, cuts across, and is brought down by Lakes at the 47-yard line. First down, Pirates.
Wynn's going to run like the wind as he gets upfield. Great job pulling that on the option play and trusting himself to get the extra yardage. Runs quite a ways before he's even touched. So fantastic read by the quarterback, getting upfield and again allowing the Pirates to make something of this drive here about midway through the second.
No one enjoys listening to these games as our technical director, Brian Dill. Wynn in shotgun. He's going to pitch it. It's a reverse, and it's a trick play. And wide open downfield is number 13, or rather 23. And that's going to be a touchdown. And that was Tanner Tucker from Clovis East High School, the recipient of that pass play, a little trickery from the Pirates. And they lead right now 6-0 pending.
That might be the first reverse pass I've seen at the college ranks, well, specifically the junior college ranks, because you don't get that much install time with these guys. You've only gone on for a couple years, so getting those trick plays is a low priority thing. Fantastic job getting it set up, though. No one was even looking to defend the wide receivers downfield. They were wide open for about 10 yards in every direction.
Kick is up. Kick is good. It's now 7-0 Pirates over the Bulldogs. We'll take a break. You're listening to Hancock Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu, the Allen Hancock College athletic website. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges. Score is 7-0 Pirates off a trick play, and they're kicking off to the Bulldogs here into the sun. Kickoff fielded at the 1. Kajon Lakes on the return. Cuts up field, and it's going to be brought down to the 13. So good special teams coverage for the Pirates. And Hancock will have a 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
You know, the beauty of running a run-based offense is that field position doesn't matter all that much. What matters is about your rhythm, getting things moving downfield. And they really had something going with DJ Whitmell here. I'd be wondering if he's part of the rotation. I spoke with Ed Herman before the game, and he said he's really happy with the way that he's got a bunch of different sets of running backs that can bring different qualities at any point in the game. So Whitmell might have to wait another series to get back in, but I'd be going back to him as soon as I could if I was Coach Ed Herman.
Tight end in motion. I formation, handoff, going, cutting cross field. And that was Smith with the carry, getting past the 15 down to about the 16-yard line.
The cutback lane was there. In college, that's kind of the main running lanes you're going to get. You're rarely going to get the kind of open field run that we saw with Whitmell, getting that entire green field opening up. He had it there. He just needed to cut back, and he had the entire field right ahead of him.
2 receivers on the near side. Handoff, going up the middle. Nice run. About 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
And there you see a little bit of that. You know, that on the play side, that play had very little going for it. That cutback, though, plenty of room to get upfield. Going to bring up a 3rd and short, a great chance for the Bulldogs to keep this going. By design, they get a lot of 3rd and shorts in general and have a pretty high efficiency, historically speaking, with this program.
3rd and 2. Smith in the backfield. Hand off to Smith right up the middle. Big hole. Hit by the linebacker and brought down at the 22-yard line for a Bulldog first down.
One cut from a payday, last blocker back for the defense. And as a offensive coordinator, you block everyone on the field for you. You got to make that guy miss. So Smith is going to look at that and say, next time, that one's on me. I'm going back and I'm getting that touchdown.
One receiver on each side, offset I formation, tight end in motion. 2 tight ends getting all the way to the 35, first down.
And that's going to open up the playbook here. 2nd and short isn't a normal down. When you're not chunking, when you downfield, you can run a counter play. You can sweep it out. You've got a lot of options because worst case scenario, it should still be about 3rd and short.
Smith in the backfield. Lakes lined up on the near side, Young on the far side. Grundall for the Bulldogs. And it was 91 for Ventura. Darius Johnson from Buena High School with the tackle. And it's going to be 3rd and 4.
And that's that experimental down counter play that I kind of thought that they might go with. I see that being married to the counter pass on play action real well, as all of the defensive backs and safety bid on that counter play. So I expect them to go back with the counter pass soon.
So fake handoff. Grundall looking downfield, under pressure, throws to the sideline, intercepted, and running out of bounds is a defender at the 34-yard line. Can't see who it was through the scrum.
You know, I think Grundall's going to get back to the sideline. They're going to say, hey, you shouldn't have thrown that away. And then he's going to say, what do you want me to do? Take the sack? When I take the sack, you told me to throw it away. He threw it where he thought no one was going to be. He's just misread the defense, and one black jersey happened to be there. Smart play that turns a disaster. One little iceberg in the path of the Titanic there. So going to be the Ventura Pirates getting the ball back.
8:47 left to go here in the first half of play. Ventura up 7-0. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Wynn going to hand the ball off to Wick, and Wick hit immediately and is forced back by Honus Wagner, who was a defensive powerhouse last week against LA Valley.
Well, and Wagner might just win the Clay Matthews lookalike contest in Santa Maria Valley this year. Just coming off the edge there, pushing the play all the way back. And that's why forward progress is important in football, because he'd be all the way back for a safety by now if they didn't call that one dead.
2nd and 11. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Wynn in the backfield all by himself. He's going to take it himself and running to the sideline and is forced out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. He'll end up getting about 7 to 8 yards on the play. Not sure where they're going to spot it. Yeah, they're going to spot it at the 29-yard line, so a 3rd and 5.
And he did something very dangerous that got him more yards, which was run backwards. If a defensive back had been there, he would have just been running backwards and losing those yards. Luckily, he's a linebacker on coverage against him.
1 receiver on the near side, 3 on the far side. Wick in the backfield. Wynn is going to pitch it to Wick. Wick cuts back field and manages to get past a couple Bulldogs and gets inside the 25 down to the 24 for a first down.
I'm not sure how he angled his body to not absorb that hit there, but he had a few guys on him, slowing him down, and just turned his body a little bit and impossibly moved himself forward for a first down. Smart play by the running back and great instincts.
3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Wynn hands it off to Wick. Wick with a nice little sidestep getting inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line.
That's a nice little counter play there. You don't see too much of that in zone because a lot of the cutbacks are just there by design. That you're having everyone block one way and you come back. They're a little design counter that they caught the linebacker cheating too far to the play side and getting that extra yardage.
3 wideouts on the near side, ball on the far hash mark. Chuck in the backfield. Wynn looking to his left, throwing to his left, And is it caught? They're going to say it's caught right there in the end zone for a touchdown.
Great job recognizing the man coverage for two reasons. First of all, one-on-one, always going to be a good situation. Second of all, the defender was just glued on his man. He didn't look back at the ball at all, threw it behind the defender, knowing that the wide receiver is going to have a chance to come back and get it without the defender ever knowing where the ball was. Typically, you just wait for the wide receiver's eyes to get open, put your hand up. Wouldn't work there because it's behind you.
Chris Reeves on that reception for a touchdown. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. And the Pirates have a 14-0 lead over the Bulldogs. You're listening, or watching rather, Bulldog football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges. It's the B team filling in today as CJ Silas is out of town and Nick Lamica is, I don't know, maybe Dill can tell us. Kickoff to the Bulldogs, fielded at the 4. Good blocks in front of him and is hit at the 25, 28-yard line. And Lakes taking a lick.
And if I'm the offensive coordinator, again, I'm not by any means. I'm not going to give him the ball back. He seemed determined on that run, and that's why that hit seemed so violent. He was in full open field running form. It looked more like he was trying to run a 100-yard dash than run through any sort of football formation. So clearly he wants to get out to the open field. He wants to make a play. Even though it took a big hit, I'm looking to go back to him sooner than later.
1st and 10, 2 receivers on the near side. Handoff going up the middle. Nice hole. Good way to keep his feet going. Getting all the way down to the 35-yard line. And that was DJ Whitmill.
6 yards right through the center of the formation. That's quite a bit of yardage when you're just trying to get the rhythm going, start off the drive on the correct foot. So that's a play that I see them going back to pretty soon because if Ventura's not going to stop it, why run anything else?
Eddie Battle in the backfield, 2 receivers on the far side. Handoff going to Battle. Battle, nice little stutter step, gets through the line and will get near the first down marker at the 38-yard line.
Same play, same side of the ball, same everything about that. This is a classic move by Chris Dutra, the head coach of Hancock football. His coach, Barney Ames, once ran the blast play 16 times in a row to start a game. He said if they couldn't stop it, why would we do anything else? And they ended up winning that game by quite a margin.
3rd and short. Handoff up the middle. Oh, and it's DJ Whitmill with a big run at the 40-yard line of the Pirates before he's taken down. And they're going to mark the ball at about the 41. So big run for DJ Whitmill.
A lot of people look at the pass plays and say, oh, this is the more dynamic option. Run plays are very much more dynamic, but it's a more subtle way. Right there, the linebacker said, well, they've been running blast right at me. They've been running blast right here. I'm going to move up into this gap. Well, then they changed by about 3 feet where the run was going. That opened up a huge lane, huge run by DJ Whitmill down the field on 3rd down and short.
1st and 10. Fake pass. Now throwing it downfield, and it's complete to Kajon Lakes, a touchdown for the Bulldogs, Grandalda Lakes.
And that's a play called a wheel route, where basically you fake the screen. Everyone says, oh, here comes the screen, and my job is to come down and crack down on this. Everyone starts running downfield, and then wheeling right up the field with Kajon Lakes. Long ball, complete. That's exactly how you draw up a drive for the Bulldogs. Short run, big run. Everyone's looking downfield. Toss it long.
Best pass ball I've seen from Grandal yet this season. Second game in, but still. So Zacharias set for the point after touchdown. Kick is up, and kick is good, and that's good for his personal momentum after those 3 missed field goals. So it's 14-7 Pirates over the Bulldogs. We'll take a short break. You're watching Hancock football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Hancock football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Bulldogs with a 40-yard touchdown pass from Grandal to Lakes to cut it to 14-7. A return here for the Pirates. Returning to the 15. Ooh, and is hit hard by 2 Bulldogs at the 22-yard line. Hancock's not messing around.
Boy, and that looked like he could have gotten split in half. The tackles took him 2 different directions. His shoulders were going one way, his legs were going another. So a little bit of involuntary yoga by the returner there. This is going to bring up a pretty decent field position still. It's going to be on their own 22, 1st and 10 for the Pirates. But, I mean, violent tackle by the Bulldogs, and the momentum feels like it's coming back into their sails a little bit.
Well, touchdown off a turnover off a trick play, and then a nice little drive with good field position. And so we'll see what the Pirates can do here with 78 yards in front of them. So Chuck Wick with the ball, and here he goes with a big hole in Seth Mataisi there to stop him at the 40, but a big 18-yard pickup on first down.
Well, gap blocking schemes are not just for the Bulldogs. The Pirates stealing, looting, buccaneering their way into the Bulldogs' playbook there and getting a nice little gap scheme down the middle, and that opens up a huge run.
1st and 10, 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Gayton with the carry this time, looking for a hole on the left side, is brought down by Mataisi.
Right now, the Pirates are just playing games with the middle linebacking core of the Bulldogs. They're doing all sorts of things to move their heels around, and I think the coaching staff for the Pirates right now are just watching where the heels are at the snap of the ball and then adjusting their play call for the next couple plays based off of that.
When taking the snap, handing it off the ball to Gayton. Gayton being torn to the ground at the 46-yard line. He'll pick up 2 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Right there, both middle linebackers for the Bulldogs just fired straight through the A gaps and tore down the running back before he had a chance to get upfield. Great job by the Bulldogs being violent and getting to the point of attack and taking it down before anything could develop.
3rd and 4. Win with 2 receivers on each side. Quick pass, complete at the 50, brought down. It was Dustin Sanchez on the reception and Kurt McDonald on the stop. 1st and 10 Pirates in Bulldog territory.
Kurt McDonald on the stop. I tell you what, that ball barely got there. It looked like 3 different Bulldogs almost got a hand on it. It is a tiny little window, almost like the little holes that they put in Cheez-Its, that he had to string that through and barely got there. Great job by Wynn finding the right place to put that ball.
3 receivers on the far side, 1 receiver on the near side. Wynn on a keeper. Has some room to run at the 40. Runs out of bounds just short of the first down marker, 2 yards short.
Wynn's really impressed me with his intelligence with the ball tonight. He's doing a great job picking his places to run, finding the easy reception, ball placements when he's throwing the ball. The only thing, rollouts that, we know Maldonado can hit, but as the coaching is adjusting what he can do, he's being very effective.
2nd and 3 for the Pirates. Wynn looking downfield, throws it, tipped in the air, falls incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
That quick slant route is the best friend of a wide receiver and quarterback. That's how you get those confidence routes, because all right, just throw it right into his numbers, get that catch, get upfield. But when it's dropped, it can do the opposite effect. It can really ruin the day for a quarterback and wide receiver combo.
Big 3rd down. Handoff going to Gayton. Gayton getting past the first down marker, down at about the 34-yard line. Looked like he was going to be stopped, but he found a last-second hole and gets the first down.
A lot of chaos out the offensive line being created by the Bulldogs. They're doing a fantastic job making that neutral zone as muddy as possible. But once Ventura is getting clear of it, they're getting huge gains. So Ventura just looking to get just past the line. They know they can be successful once they're past it.
1st and 10. Fake handoff. Pass completes. Brought down by Mataisi at the 26-yard line. 8-yard pickup. Oh, they're going to bring it down to the 27-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 3. No huddle. Handoff goes to Gayton. Gayton around the left side. Big hole at the 20, at the 15. Looking for end zone. Is brought down inside the 5 at the 2-yard line.
Right now, Ventura trying to hurry up and catch Hancock tired, because they're on a great roll here. Now they're going to substitute. They might be going for a heavier person, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, time winding down here in the 2nd quarter. 1:11 left to go. Pirates 14, Hancock 7. We'll take a break. You're watching Hancock football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. 1st and goal for the Pirates at the 2-yard line. 1:11 left to go here in the first half of play. Pirates lead 14-7. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side, 2 backs in the backfield. Wynn looking at the defense. And he's going to take it himself, and he's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd and goal.
I don't mean to be too physically objective here, but this is a rather heavy set for the Ventura Pirates. They're really trying to focus on the goal line. And, they got 2 running backs in the backfield. They're bigger wide receivers, and they're just looking to punch this in. They've been able to get the gaps and schemes that they've wanted all the way downfield. So they just need a few more yards, and they're trying to take their time doing it.
Wynn looking to his left, throwing to his left, nearly intercepted by the Bulldogs. And that'll stop the clock at 34 seconds.
I'm surprised that the Ventura Pirates are even looking to throw the ball here. I would have just bled the clock down. You know it's going to be 3rd down when you get it. You still have all your timeouts. Just take it, bleed it down as far as you can. Run one more play. If you get in, good. If you don't, take a timeout, kick the field goal.
All right, handoff up the middle, and it's Wick into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates.
And that's great for the Pirates, but imagine if that was going in with no time left on the clock, or maybe just a couple seconds. Hancock's going to have a chance to respond here with a deep play of their own. But great job by the Pirates. Entire offensive drive, they just felt in rhythm. They felt jived. It looked like everything was working that they were trying to get done. So Hancock's got a mountain to climb here as we're going to wind down the first half. It will be a good chance for some adjustments on the defense.
27 pending the point after touchdown. Ball's down. Kick is 21-7. We'll be right back. You're watching Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. With 31 seconds left to go here in the first half, and we have a return by Qualik David, and the Bulldogs have 25 seconds to do something.
Well, it's not just 25 seconds. 25 seconds and 2 timeouts for the Bulldogs, which quite a big difference that makes because that doesn't limit you to the sidelines. It doesn't limit you to only long passes. They can try and cut this up a little bit more than just saying, all right, we got 2-3 plays maybe. They can get some quick plays right off, maybe get something to the center, quick slant to an out. But this far back, I expect them to just run down the clock, especially with a very heavy jumbo set here, 2 tight ends.
And it's going to be a handoff. And it's going to be stopped for a 1-yard gain. And no timeout being called. It looks like they're just going to let the clock wind down and end the first half.
Yeah, Dutra waving his troops off the field here, and I think that's got to be a little bit disappointing. They don't give themselves a chance to maybe cut into this a little bit. They're going to be kicking back off to Ventura to start the second half. So I would have expected something there beyond just a quick run play and let's get to the locker rooms.
So it's halftime here at Ventura College. Pirates lead the Bulldogs 21-7. And we will be back with some halftime stats, maybe some banter. I don't know what's going on here.
Who banters these days?
We'll be right back. You're watching Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Well, welcome back to Bulldog Football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Charles Summer, and with me is Stephen Hodges. It's halftime here at Ventura College. The Pirates leading the Bulldogs 21-7. And after a scoreless first quarter, what happened there in the second quarter?
Well, we had a few scoring drives. It started off with Ventura hitting Terrell Vaughn a 53-yard pass on that reverse wide receiver passing play. A little bit of trickery that we don't typically see in the college ranks, but it worked out fantastic for them getting that deep pass completed. Deshaun Staples then got a 19-yard pass from Nevin Yun, and then Hancock strikes back. 4:43 left in the second. Kajon Lake's 40-yard pass from Gavin Grondal to make it 14-7. However, 31 seconds left. Ventura struck once again. 2-yard run by Chuck Wick on a long drive by Ventura. And you look at some of these stats, and there's some stuff that's expected, some stuff that's not expected. For example, Ventura 111 passing yards in the first half. Hancock 48. Here's something that Hancock's got to keep an eye on, though. Ventura is currently out-rushing Hancock, which is an absurd thing to think about if you look at the scheme of how Hancock likes to run the ball, how Ventura likes to do things. Right now, Ventura's got 150 yards on the ground, while Hancock only has 146. And that's going to be something that both coaching staffs take a look at and try and build on going into the second half, because Hancock does not want to get outrushed by anyone.
Well, it's amazing to see that Ventura is able to do so much with their backup quarterback when Dino Maldonado was the starter going into week one, played against Saddleback, got injured, is sidelined tonight, and Wynn coming in and doing an excellent job as the backup. Had a first quarter jitters, I think, and then really settled in there in the second quarter. What do the Bulldogs need to do to really get back into the game? Do they need to continue to rely on their run game, or does Grondal have to really come up big and make some big passes?
Well, I think their run game should be strong enough if they're going with the right packages. We talked about this during the game. Hancock's got a stable of about 6 running backs that they like to cycle in, but if you're familiar with any sort of viticulture or gardening in general, sometimes for the plant to grow the best, you got to prune the leaves. Right now, you're looking at one running back that's got more than 50 yards. When you got 150 yards on the ground, that running back, DJ Whitmill, I think you got to start off with him as your running back and then cycle some guys in behind him. A little bit like what we had last year. If you watched last year, Raheem Skinner was the 1A back, and then he had a handful of guys that like to run behind him. So if I'm looking at how to fix things, I think you start by getting Whitmill the ball more often rather than just cycling him in like any other back. He's only got 6 rushes, but Terrence Rainer's got 5. Eddie Battle's got 5. Desmond Newkirk has 6. Maurice Smith has 5. So you look at that stable, it's pretty evenly split. I don't think that's got to be the case. I think you got to start rewarding your guys that are succeeding in the game. That's got to start here in the second half.
Yeah, and what worked for them last week against LA Valley is definitely not going to work against Ventura. LA Valley, not one of the premier teams in California. Ventura, on the other end, is ranked number 1 last year before their loss to Saddleback, ranked number 11 this week, with Hancock tied for 19th. On their trending upwards after their first and only game this season, but if this game continues like this, they might be seeing themselves drop out of that top 25.
If Hancock drops this game, there's no question that they're going to drop out of the top 25, at least for the short term. I'd be more worried right now if I were Hancock about this defense. The defense has been allowing yards both on the pass and the run. That tells me that there's something systematically, as far as coaching goes, you're being out-coached a little bit. You got to figure out where you can make your hard lines and work from there. Meanwhile, as you said on the offensive side, I think that they've got something working. Just need to be a little bit more consistent. And I think it starts by looking and reminding yourself, Saddleback got 700 yards against this defense. Hancock may not be Saddleback. I understand that. No one's making that comparison, but toast can't be bread again. This is a team that gave up 700 yards on defense. You can make them give up a few more yards than you're getting right now on this stat sheet.
Well, I think what really Saddleback did was throw the ball a lot. I think they had almost 500 yards of total passing yards last game, and that's not the bread and butter of Hancock offense, but they've got to do something to get some big chunks of yards, whether it's outs by the tight ends or what they did earlier with the fake screen and really a post post route, right?
Wheel route is
Wheel route?
what the nomenclature is, but either way, it's a long route down the sideline. I think you're right. I think that they've got to utilize their play action a little bit more off these rushing yards. I mean, they're doing a good job grinding them down inside, getting those drives that are long and bruising, but the way you got to cap that off is by getting it over the top. And, the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs right now is Ed Herman. He's coming back after a little bit of break coaching. He used to be the head coach at Rigetti. Before that, though, offensive coordinator at Hancock. And while we were working at Hancock, he was the offensive coordinator there. I'm going to drop some names you may remember. Scott Cathcart, Marquello Sewell. He knows how to get the ball to the wideouts when he's got him going. So I think there's got to be a little bit of a trust issue between him and the quarterback. But once that all gets settled down, I have faith that this is going to be a team that's going to grind it down, then throw over the top for some big yards.
Well, that big pass play did show that Grandal has some timing with his receivers. It's just getting more reps.
Yeah, building confidence is something that is major for quarterbacks. You have to have the timing in the routes. You have to know where the wide receiver is going to be before you even throw it. A lot of people think that a quarterback, it's all about seeing over the line, all of that. I mean, Drew Brees would not be in the NFL. Well, granted, he's injured now, but if he had to look over the 6'6" lineman in front of him, a lot of times it's just timing routes and knowing where your guys are going to be before they get there, and being able to deliver the ball where it is in the route versus just knowing, oh, okay, that's where he's going to be because I can see him. You've got to be able to feel a little bit more, and that's just getting more reps. And Grandal, rightfully should be kind of questioned that right now. He threw 4 interceptions last week. If he threw 4 interceptions this week, Hancock would already be out of this game. He's thrown 1 in the first half. So is Grandal the answer? I've got some question marks in my mind about that. But if that confidence gets up, I expect Grandal to be a major part of this offense throughout the full season.
Well, there's still a lot of football to be played. It's a 2-score game, 21-7. And we'll be back with the second half of action right here from Ventura College between the number 11 ranked Ventura and the number 19 ranked Allen Hancock. So you're watching Bulldog football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges. And Stephen, you know what's exciting?
This game right here, it's 21-7 at halftime. Pirates lead the Bulldogs, though, so if you're watching on athletics.hancockcollege.edu, probably hope for those Bulldogs to pull up.
We have talked a lot about the game we are currently calling, but we have not talked about the Wisconsin Badgers putting the hurt
This is
on
like
the
one of those
Michigan
things
Wolverines. 35-14, and it wasn't even that close
when
as it was
when your
35-0.
car skids, you're supposed to go into the turn. I should have just cut it off at the pass, knowing what was coming. That's on me. I'm sorry, folks at home. I'm sorry to my family. I'd like to take this time to apologize. I avoided Wisconsin the most I could.
You know, Mike Day, a gentleman we both know who owns a radio station out of Lompoc, went to Wisconsin last weekend and brought me back some fresh cheese curds.
I was going to say, it better be the cheese curds, not just the cheese. Because you get cheese anywhere.
Cheese
but the
curds.
cheese curds from Wisconsin
You
are something
can't
else.
get cheese curds locally. And when I told my wife that I had received cheese curds from Mike, her one-word response, gross.
So if you know
They're-
any single women in the Lompoc area, feel free to send them on. It's local.
Just understand that now I understand that all those cheese curds are all mine.
I mean, you're living a
I
blessed life.
do not have to share.
You got a great wife that's letting you have all the cheese curds to yourself.
Thank you, Becca. I love you. Don't eat my cheese curds or my beef sticks. We're about to
Beef sticks.
I got beef sticks as well. Cade England in to kick off for the Bulldogs to the Pirates. Sun has set. Beautiful sunset over there, if our technical director showed you. And nice kickoff going into the end zone. It's going to be taken out of the end zone. He's at the 15, at the 20. He's got a block, and it's McDonald. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
McDonald. Kurt McDonald. I had it right. Kurt McDonald bringing him down.
So kind of a rodeo tackle, got on his back and took him down. And this is going to be the defining moment for this defense. Are they going to be able to come out and perform? Because if they don't, the team's going to be down by 3 scores at that point. This is a must-make scenario earlier in the second half. I mean, I can't imagine how the team's going to recover if they go back in with no momentum on their side, down 3 scores against this great Ventura team.
3 receivers on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side. When brings the ball down and goes himself and is brought down for a loss. So good defensive play for the Bulldogs on 1st and 10.
Just assaulting the offensive line, getting to the backfield and taking down the quarterback. And that's a great feeling as a defender when you take down the quarterback, because that's the chief of the offense right there. And you're saying, I am dominating this. We have got this in hand.
Flipped formation for Ventura. Getting the secondary call from the sideline. Chuck Wick going from one side to the other. Play clock ticking down. And it's Wick with the carry. And he's stopped after a minimal gain. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. That's where they're going to give it to him, and it's 3rd and 10.
You know, on most Hancock home games, you can find me doing the stats for the Bulldogs. And I am so happy I'm not doing stats tonight, because there was 4 defenders on that tackle at the same time. You can only split a tackle 2 ways. 2 people are going to be disappointed tonight.
And these jerseys are easily red, of course. 2 receivers on the far side, 2 receivers on the near side. Wynn looking to his left, throwing to his left, and open is the receiver, and it's caught for a big first down by Christian Lancelotti for Moorpark, a homegrown kid.
Caught in stride right in the breadbasket. That's where you want to drop a ball as a quarterback so that he doesn't even have to slow down. Got out to the outside, got out of bounds, still took the hit, but great job by the wide receiver getting open.
Three receivers on the near side, one on the far side. Handoff going to Wick. Wick high-stepping one tackle, but is caught at the line of scrimmage. No gain, second down.
And Hancock keeps going with these hot and cold styles of playing defense. They're getting hits behind the line of scrimmage, or they're not catching guys at all, and someone's breaking down field. I mean, it's been a consistency issue where it's either everyone's there or no one's there.
Two receivers on each side. Back to passes win. A penalty coming in the backfield at about the 47-yard line.
Likely going to be a hold to avoid the sack there, but we'll see what the referee has to say. Definitely going to be a hold. Yeah, it looked like the left guard got a hold to keep that middle blitz from getting through.
So I got a question for you, Steven. So the block, the hold was 6 yards deep into the backfield, but they only mark it off from the down marker?
I used to know how holding worked.
Oh, well,
that's a previous
apparently
life.
So did I. So 2nd and 20. Back to passes win, looking to his left, throwing to his left, and falls incomplete. But had he completed it, he would have been hit just as hard as he was with the incomplete pass.
Well, let me tell you right now, Ventura is calling for a flag on that, but that wasn't a defensive receiver scenario. His hands were up, but the ball had hit his hands. If he had had the ball, that would have been an easy first down because, well, you're not going to touch me. I'm just going to keep running.
Yeah.
That is a good tackle.
Three receivers on the near side, one receiver on the far side. Win, shotgun, back to pass, looking to his left, pulls it down, has some room to run, caught from behind, brought down at the 49-yard line of the Bulldogs. He'll get a 3-yard gain on the play, but it's going to be 4th down. So the Bulldog defense holding on this drive after that long pass for a first down.
Juan Wynn didn't see something downfield. He had an open receiver. He just couldn't make the connection due to the pressure by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs were yelling and screaming on their sideline because they weren't lined up correctly. Pirates unable to take advantage of that technical issue. And I told you this was an important stand for the defense. Right now, it's a
kick is away, and ball is going to bounce inside the 5, and is going to be covered up at the 4. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from there.
Yeah, as Eddie Battle jumping on the ball, and that's a questionable call. I mean, it saved them a couple yards, but if it had hit his legs, that would have been a turnover immediately. So great job, man. I think I've got a correction here. It was Kurt McDonald back there for the Bulldogs.
So running back in the game right now is Rayner. One receiver lining up on the far side, 2 tight end set, fullback in, handoff going to Rayner. Rayner looking for a hole up the middle is going to get a yard, maybe 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, we talked at halftime about how these running backs need to differentiate themselves a little bit more, and that Whitmill's really been the only guy that's gotten a huge amount of yards or a huge defining play to set himself apart from the pack. I think Rayner's the next guy up for a breakout move. I think he's been doing the right things. He just hasn't found the open space. I think part of it has been his vision. Could use a little help.
Newkirk in the backfield. Young, the wideout. Handoff going to Newkirk. Newkirk looking for some blocks in front of him. Gets to the 10-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
This offense is clicking a little bit, but it may not seem like it because they're just chunking yards. But this is the Bulldog offense, classic style, just picking up little bits at a time and then allowing themselves to get manageable 3rd and 4th downs to keep the ball moving. But I don't know if you go for it on 4th down this close to your own end zone.
No, I hope not. 2 receivers lining up on the far side. Rush for the Bulldogs. Stopped initially. Ball still moving forward with the scrum, and it's going to be 4th and 1 for the Bulldogs at the 13-yard line.
And, 4th and 1, it's tempting, right?
Oh, it's
Like
so
you got to sit
tempting.
there and say, well,
There's a
it's right
lot
there.
of time left in this game.
You just push the pile though. You just push the pile, and it's the first time. It's gonna be a punt. They're getting into punt formation here, but hey, you could just push the pile and keep this drive going. Looks like they're gonna be waving the white flag though and sending the special teams out.
Kate England in for the punt. Low snap. Good high kick. Fair caught called. And it's going to be down at the 32-yard line.
28.
That's
no,
really...
they're going to put it where he started contact rather than finish the catch.
Yeah, that is a nice punt for Kate England. Flipping this field right here. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
For Kate England to get that kind of punt when he's rushed is a fantastic
and
sign for the punter. Bad snap, guys in his face, and so he is a high arcing punt because he couldn't get it blocked, and he still got that kind of distance. This is a special kicker right here.
Paso kid.
Paso.
1st and 10. 2 receivers on each side. Wynn with Wick in the backfield. Wynn looking to his left. Drops down and runs and is going to be brought down by Cameron Brown after a 4-yard pickup.
And Wynn kind of fell awkwardly on his shoulder there. I'd keep an eye on him a little bit if I were a Pirate because he's kind of moving his shoulders around a little bit. He doesn't seem comfortable with how he's getting up. Hopefully everything's all right with his arm.
2nd and 6. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Wick to Wynn's right. Fake handoff. Screenplay. Sniffed out. And it's McDonald there for the stop. Loss on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
The entire defense was playing amazingly downhill there. The field might actually be slanted that way because you look in the backfield, the run play wasn't there. Couldn't do the QB sneak. And even on the screenplay, there's 3 guys there to make the tackle. Great job by the defense running down on each opportunity for the Pirates.
Blitz showing. McDonald, or rather, Wynn throwing it to his left, and it's going to be stopped for a big loss. They'll keep the clock running. 30-yard line after a 4-yard loss, and it's 4th down and 12.
Long 4th down opportunity, and this is coming from the Bulldogs playing downhill, forcing the ball at every opportunity they got. And now Katie England's punt means that much more because I'm not sure that Ventura's guy can kick it quite as far as Cade did on that last possession.
There's only 10 guys on the field for the Bulldogs. And it's blocked anyways, and it's going to be picked up at the 4 and returned to about the 3 or the 2. So didn't matter if there were only 10 guys on the field to block for a punt return because they block the punt, get it inside the 5-yard line, and are back in this game right here.
Great aggression by the Bulldogs. There's going to be a player down, but getting in, getting the punt. Last week they had contact on the ball about 4 times. Never got a full block. Here we're going to have a full block and down near the goal line for the Bulldogs.
So injured player on the far side of the field. It is a Hancock player. So while they tend to him, let's take a break. You are watching Bulldog football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football, right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodgers. Injured player on the field, still unable to see who it is, but it happened after the Bulldogs blocked the Pirate punt and returned it to the 3-yard line. So the Bulldogs will have a first and goal at the 3, 7:40 on the clock here in the third quarter. Bulldogs trail by 2 touchdowns, 21-7.
Well, you look, that's probably the first time that they've really won this special teams battle, getting that punt block, because they missed 3 field goals in the first half. So finally getting that third phase of the game to go in their way.
Well, back-to-back, because that Cade England punt really flipped the field and led to this situation right here.
Yeah, punters are people too.
Rainier, the ball carrier, looking to get into the end zone, is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Rainier,
Smith, rather. Thank you, PA announcer.
I was going to say, I got Rainier as next guy up, but I guess that's Smith. But so they're once again switching up the running back stable drive by drive, which I'm not sure if it's giving the running backs enough time to get into that rhythm again. Here it's going to be Eddie Battle coming in as he's going to be splitting reps with Smith this series. So it's going to be a short one, and I bet that they're all excited because you each get a chance to get one in from the goal line. You're going to take it.
I formation. Battle. Finding the left side. Diving forward. And ground can't cause a fumble, can it?
No. If the ball hits the ground
stretched out. I don't like this call. He's stretched out over the line. But they are a lot closer than I am.
We've got one guy in the back with his arms up for a touchdown. I don't know why there was that disagreement there, but either way, ground can't cause a fumble. If the ball hits the ground like that, it's down by contact by rule. So just him going down, it would have had to be coming out first, but it was definitely a controlled motion to get that ball across the line.
Smith in the backfield. It's going to go to Smith. He dives over the pack into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Big touchdown for the Bulldogs here. It's going to bring him within 1 score, and it's Smith that does it. He does it the simple way. Gets behind the big guys, jumps over the pile, and gets into the end zone. Really, this is what they love doing at Hancock. You get down this close, just let your athletes jump, run, do whatever they need to do, whatever they feel confident in doing to finish out the drive. Good job by the Bulldogs bringing this one close.
Edgar Zacharias in for the point after touchdown. 6:14 left to go here in the third quarter. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. It's a 1-score game. 21-14. Pirates lead. You are watching Bulldog football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I am Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges. It is a 1-score game here at Ventura College. Pirates lead 21-14, but a great special teams, run game effort by the Bulldogs here in the third quarter to cut this into a 1-score game in the field. Return is by number 2. A nice little cutback across field, and is hit from behind. And that's the dangerous thing about cutting back field and not going forward.
Well, especially when you've already had guys pass you, and he just got ear-holed. There's nothing more to taken out at the helmet level, and It was a little bit high, but outside of that, that was a clean hit by Hancock. I wouldn't want to see it again, though, because he gained more yardage due to the hit coming from behind.
Mm-hmm. 1st and 10 at the 31. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side, 2 backs in the backfield. That's Gayton and Wick. Wynn handing it off to Wick. Wick looking for a hole along the left side. Not much going there. He'll get forward progress to the 34-yard line, 3-yard pickup.
One adjustment the Bulldogs have made here in the second half is they're lining up their strong safety much closer to the line of scrimmage and aligned with where that running back is. I think they looked at those stats, saw how much they'd given up on the run, and said, you know what, that's enough. We're going to have to lock one of our DBs down and make sure that that run is covered.
Well, I'll tell you, Seth Mataisi, the right player to do that.
Absolutely. He's one of the best players on the team last week.
Man in motion. Pass. Oh, fumble on the play. And recovered by the Pirates. So defense coming up big again. And that was E.J. Barrera coming up with that big hit, forcing the fumble. Fumble recovered by the Pirate offense. And it'll bring up 3rd and really long.
Tell you what, Justin Gayton doing a great job keeping his head on a swivel, finding that ball before the defense could get on it. Is almost a repeat of that blocked punt they had on the last drive. So Ventura lucky to have the ball still here on 3rd down.
Bulldogs showing blitz. Pressure coming. Wynn scrambling, looking downfield, throwing downfield. And is it going to be caught? They're going to say it's caught, but it's 4th down and about 3 to go. Oh, that's a generous spot.
It was a long ways away, but
generous spot.
You know.
Oh, they're going. Okay, so they're going to put
go.
I thought they were going to put the ball at the 40. They're putting the ball at the 38. That's 4th and 3. And is Ventura? No, Ventura's punt team is going to come out onto the field.
Well, they faked this once before, but I doubt seeing this here. Their offense has not been in unison, and it's something that I'm absolutely in love with what the defense is doing right now. They're blitzing, and they're blitzing hard with no regrets, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. I haven't seen Yun throw it well on the run yet in this game.
So penalty coming out, delay a game penalty.
You know, I'm more confident that they are not going to fake this punt than I was a few seconds ago. 4th and 8 instead of 4th and 3. That's a huge difference. I'm surprised it took them that long to get the punt unit out. You got to be ready for the punt when it's 3rd down.
I'm going to address the technical director. You know, Dill, you know, you've been working with someone for a real long time when you can predict what they're going to say. Punt, not a very good punt. It's going to take a bounce, and it takes a nice Pirate bounce all the way down to the 25, 24-yard line.
Pretty decent punt, but this Hancock offense is built to drive, so expect them to be able to put a few plays together here. They didn't start out the 3rd quarter too well, and honestly, they didn't move the ball too well in their second drive of this 3rd quarter, but I've got faith. And let me explain why. They ended the second quarter with a few good chunk yardage, and they were able to move the ball with Whitmill, who should be back in because we haven't seen him yet in this half, and he's going to be part of this 3rd rotation.
That's a song we haven't heard yet, Faith. They need to expand their musical selection. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 24-yard line. Handoff going right up the middle, and finding the hole up the middle is the Bulldogs, and that's Eddie Battle getting all the way down to the 39-yard line. 1st down, Bulldogs.
And that is a powerful run straight between the tackles, and that's puts you on your heels a little bit as a defender because you don't want to be the type of guy that's giving up those plays. That's all caused by positioning. Great point of impact by the offensive line to force some moves.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Tight end in motion, 1 receiver on each side. I formation, handoff going up the middle. Nice jump over the initial defensive line. He'll get 3 yards out of the play. What didn't look like he was going to get a whole lot. So it'll be 2nd and 7.
And you know, that second effort, with how little playtime each running back is getting in this game, you got to make your time count. You've got to push that ball forward. And right there we see Whitmill, who was the impact guy in the first half. He came out in the first half carrying that running back core with 73 yards. So he's going to make something happen every time he gets the ball.
2nd and 7. 2 receivers on the near side. Handoff going right up the middle. 3-yard pickup on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Looks like Battle and Whitmill will be the rotation as long as this series stays alive. So with about a 3rd and 4, this is going to be an important play call as they've got, I think, their 2 best guys going right now in this rotation.
3rd and 4, Whitmill in the backfield. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 receiver on the near side. And it's a fake. And Grandal is going to pass it to Whitmill. Whitmill gets it, but he's going to be tackled for a huge loss. And Grandal coming up limping, not good for the Bulldogs.
And Grandal, I mean, he hasn't been able to deal with the pressure so far. He throws it to his running back, but that's one where he could have just thrown it to his feet and avoided a lot of drama. And, you know, now he's limping off after taking that hit. So we'll see if he's even back in on that next drive as it's 4th and 11, a must-punt situation for the Bulldogs.
So punt formation for the Bulldogs, 4th and 11. Katie England's punt, nice high punt going all the way down and is going to go out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. So that is a great punt for Cade England, pinning the Pirates in the shadow of their own goalpost.
That is an old school punt. Coffin corner punts are something that's rarely used anymore. You want to just try and get it high, make sure there's no return, get your coverage guys there, and try and touch it for a down somewhere near the goal line. That was a old school coffin corner punt, just aiming for the pylon, ends up getting it pretty close to at the 5-yard line. Great punt. And again, this punting game has been fantastic for the Bulldogs, keeping them in this game as it's only 21-14 against a great offense.
I haven't played Madden since like 2005. Isn't that one of the things you could do? Like
You are asking. I haven't played it in a while either.
14 years ago. 1 receiver on the near side, 3 on the far side. Back to pass is Wynn. Wynn looking downfield, throwing, and a penalty marker coming in from the back judge about 30 yards away.
This is going to be pass interference one way or the other. I can honestly see either way. They're going to indicate against the Bulldogs. I got to disagree with that because there was contact both ways the entire way down the field. And it actually kept him from getting the interception was the interference from the wide receiver. So this is going to be against the Bulldog and pull them all the way out from their own goal line up the field for an automatic first down as well.
So 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Three receivers on the far side. Wick in the backfield with Wynn. Wynn back to pass. Looking downfield. Nothing going. Throwing out of bounds. Incomplete.
And Ventura is going to this quick kind of style offense because, A, they're good at it, and B, the blitz from the Bulldogs has been completely unpredictable. Sometimes they're housing. Sometimes they're bringing guys from odd positions like the defensive backs. And it's really hurting the rhythm of the quarterback. So they're just trying to get him some quick outs and move the ball and establish that.
Wynn handing it off to Wick. Wick getting hit at the 15, brought down. Little forward progress, maybe the 16, but line judge at the 15-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 8.
And this is how you balance that blitz. Quick passes and just runs right where the linebackers are coming from. And that's going to force them to back up and try and play coverage, but it hasn't been successful yet.
Wynn back to pass, looking to his right, throwing to his right. Complete at the 21, but that's going to bring up 4th down, 4th and short, but do you go for it from here?
You know, you're up by a score with not much time left in the quarter. You can't go for this, I don't think. This is going to be a tough call regardless, and they got to delay a game the last time they drug their feet. So I'd make this call fast if I were the Pirates.
Well, they're not making the call very quick as it's at 18 seconds right now, and the offense is still out there, and it doesn't look like Oh, the quarter's going to end.
They're just going to let it run
out. Thank you, Brian Dill, for pointing that out. I'm looking at play clock. I'm not looking at game clock. Although you, the audience, can see the game clock thanks to our technical director, Brian Dill. And we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football right here on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges, 4th and 1 for the Pirates. Start of the fourth quarter here at Ventura College. Punt is tipped. It looked like it was kind of blocked there, Stephen. It goes out of bounds at about the 30-yard line.
So what was the line of scrimmage there? Because it wasn't the 30, and so that's
not
going to be a block. That's going to be a 4-yard punt.
It was the 22-yard line, but I want to give that a block. Ryan, you give that a block? Yes. See?
Oh, my goodness.
The official statistician says yes. So the ball actually somehow getting to the 37-yard line when it looked like it went out of bounds from where I'm looking at the 33, and it was out of bounds at the 33. I don't agree with this spot at all. 1st and 10. Hey, Whitecap, let me get you on the radio. Handoff going up the middle. Nice hole. About a 5-yard pickup on the play.
Well, you wouldn't want the referee on that call anyway. It's the side judge that does the spotting on that. Great play. They're chunking the yards here. And I got to feel like Hancock's building this momentum. And it's coming from these punt and punt block teams, not typically where you go to for your big momentum-filling plays.
2nd and 5. Handoff. Up the middle. Eddie Battle getting all the way down to the 20-yard line. Oh, actually, that was Smith. Mind you, he's being handed the ball from Pioneer Valley grad Matt Garcia.
Yeah, Matt Garcia is not built like your typical quarterback, so I'd expect him to see maybe some veer, maybe some option plays. He's a big guy. He can shed some tacklers.
1st and 10, Bulldogs at the 20. Handoff. Fumbled or juggled. What do you call it? Bobbled? Bobbled. Thank you.
Contact juggling, maybe a little Fushigi action. Nothing that I'd want to see if I'm a running back coach is you got to get that second. By the way, DJ Whitmill, still the leading rusher with 76 yards, and he would be even if he got no yards in the third quarter. Next up is Desmond Newkirk with 36.
Smith in the backfield. 2 fullbacks in there to block, and he's got a good head of steam past the 15 down to about the 14-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just caught mid-stride there. He wanted to make a cut, but he ran right into the back of his fullback. If he'd be able to cut there, we could be looking at at least a first down, maybe a touchdown.
Receivers on each side. Run up the middle. Initially stopped. Forward progress going to be at about the 12-yard line. And it looks like the kicking team going out onto the field. Timeout being called. Might be an injured player or just helmet off. Ooh, where'd that spot came? Real.
Right now, they've missed 3 times from around this distance, and I can't see it going much better. You got a 4th and short. I'd say go for it.
Edgar Zacharias in. Ball is down. Kick is up. And kick is off the left upright. He's hit the right upright, the left upright, and below it twice. That's 4 missed field goals for Edgar Zacharias. And that's 12 points that you could have right now.
Well, I can't expect that he'd make all of them, but you'd expect to make at least a couple of them, and that bring it within 1. And you look, this isn't the game to be sitting there rebuilding the confidence of your kicker. This is one where you got to go for the touchdown. I mean,
you're right.
That was a
you got to be aggressive on the road.
Passive call, uncharacteristic of the Bulldogs right there.
1st and 10 at the 20. 3 receivers on the far side, 1 receiver's on the near side. Handoff going to Gayton. Gayton stopped for no gain.
Give credit to the right outside linebacker getting all the way to the center of the formation and grabbing the ankle of the running back, bringing him down. That is what you want to see out of the blitzing linebackers, just being hungry war dogs, pinning their ears back and getting the meat.
2 receivers on each side. Win. Back to pass. Throws across the middle. Mataisi there for the stop. But it's going to be a 1st down for the Pirates.
Give the Ventura Pirates O-line credit for building that pocket. Wynn has been able to throw the ball when he's been comfortable, and they kept Hancock from being able to force Wynn to move his feet. Wynn just stood in the pocket, delivered a great ball. That's going to be a 1st down for the Pirates.
3 receivers on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side, back in the backfield with Wynn. Wynn handing the ball off. Nothing going for Gayton. Gayton getting an extra step. Gets all the way to the 32, which is only a 1-yard pickup.
Just a long run, but really doesn't go very far because he's forced down the line of scrimmage by every defender that he came across, eventually being taken down. And those types of runs are taxing on a running back because you're using your legs to drive forward, and you're just not getting any yardage.
3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Gayton in the backfield. Wynn, back to pass, looking, throws to Gayton. Gayton able to slip 1 tackler, gets to the past the 35, down to the 36-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Be interesting to see what the Bulldogs do here because the last time as a 3rd down is a long 3rd down. They could play the chains. 3rd and 5, it's much harder to play the chains against this defense that's looking or offense that's looking to do a 1-step throw, maybe even just a couple-step throw. They also have the capability to beat you deep, so a lot of options here for the Pirates.
I do like how aggressive Seth Damron, the defensive coordinator, has been here in the second half. So handoff going to Gayton. Gayton getting past the 1st down marker down to the 44-yard line. 1st down, Pirates.
And there they exploited the aggressiveness of Seth Damron, finding the crease in the defense and moving forward. It's really easy to make a block as a lineman when your defender decides to go away from the hole that you're blocking. So just finds that great little crease in the defense and picks up a 1st down. This drive is going to stay alive for the Pirates.
10 minutes left in this game. 1st and 10, Pirates at their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers on each side. Gayton with the ball. Stopped for a 1-yard gain.
You know, overall, the Bulldogs have been a little poor on 3rd downs this game. Through 3 quarters, they were 6 of 11. So they're going to be at 7 of 12 right now, which not a great ratio. You want to try and keep that under 50% if you can, and they're trending well above it.
So 2nd and 9 coming up for the Pirates. 2 receivers on each side. Win with Gayton in the backfield. Back to pass. Looking, throwing right into the middle. And it's going to be a 1st down for the Pirates at the 45-yard line.
Well designed.
Lancelotti just finding just wide open spot in the zone.
Well-designed pass play, just finding the space underneath the defensive backs, but beyond the linebackers, and just turning for a spot play, catching the ball.
1st and 10 in Bulldog territory. Win, back to pass, under pressure, throws it. It looked like he was in front of the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be a complete ball inside the 15-yard line.
And a generous whistle after an ingenerous lack of a flag past the line of scrimmage. And this is going to be a big 1st down for the Pirates, they're knocking on the door right now to try and maybe close this one out.
1st and 10. Gayton with the ball. Minimal gain. Or getting past the 10. Down at the 9.
Well, this is just a clicking offense. This is what the Pirates look like when they're at their best. I think that Damron's got to fix his blitz patterns a little bit. Seth Damron is the defensive coordinator. He's doing his best, but he is just getting pressure on the quarterback and stopping the run at the line of scrimmage. Right now, the Pirates have found the soft spots in the defense, and it's really punishing the Bulldogs.
Wynn handing the ball off to Wick. Wick finding himself down to the 4-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, 3rd and short, not just for the first down, but 3rd and short for this drive in general. Pirates, once again, with a large number of options on this 3rd down because they could just go for the touchdown here if they wanted.
Wynn with Wick behind him. Handoff goes to Wick. Wick hits down marker.
Gray wave crashing over the Ventura line, causing it to not go far, but I'm not sure where they're going to put this spot. This still might be a first down.
They're going to call it a 4th and short.
And Ventura, this is where you should kick the field goal. Put yourself up by 2 scores. There's not much time left in this game. Get the second score. Get going on the other direction because there's no sense in taking the time here. I think they're going to take a timeout. And
they're
look
taking
it
the
over.
timeout at the end of the play clock, running as much time off the clock as possible. And I imagine they're going to send their kicking team out there for a field goal. They're taking a break. We'll take a break. You're watching Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football. Pirates are going to go for it here on 4th down. And it's Wynn going to go around to the other side. And it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the touchdown, but there's a penalty marker coming in at the end of the play. Now, if it play stands where it is, it'll be a 1st and goal at the 1. But there's a penalty. We'll see what it's called.
Yeah, this might be the biggest penalty call of the night as this could put Ventura right at the goal line, or it could move them all the way back for an ungettable 4th down where they'd have to kick. But there's a player down on the field, and it might be Wynn. Oh, one of ours, according to Brian Dill, our producer. I couldn't quite see the angle, so good thing he's got the eyes.
I like calling him our technical director, but I guess he does produce it.
Filmer, executive,
Yeah.
big boss man, big cheese.
So no penalty on the play. It'll be 1st and goal. Someone not having to be carted off.
Maybe one of those flags that gets thrown because the hit didn't look quite right, but it's because of the kind of angles involved. Wynn tried to dive forward at an odd angle and he got hit in his back, causing him to helicopter out of control. I think they threw the flag as a precaution so they could have a chance to talk it over.
If you didn't see a penalty, why throw a penalty?
Again, so you have a chance to look it over because some people have better angles on it, but it's not their flag to throw. Give yourself a chance to make sure you're getting the calls right.
I could tell you about a call that was overturned today at my swim meet. Not happy. 1st and goal, Pirates. Wick in pistol formation. Gayton to Wynn's left. 2 receivers on your side, 1 receiver on the far side. They're going to let the clock run all the way down. And it's going to be a stop for the Bulldogs. Chuck Wick unable to get anywhere on that play. What? No, I think that guy's holding the play, I think, because of a substitution.
Yes, that's exactly what he's doing, as they have a 2nd and goal, and the side judges were indicating it is out of the end zone. They're the ones that ultimately have the call on that goal line. And so Chuck Wick stopped just short on that left side run.
So Wick out. Gayton remains. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. It's going to go to Gayton. Gayton's going to find himself into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates.
And this is going to put the Pirates up by 2 scores. This is not unattainable by the Bulldogs, I'll say. They have shown a flash of brilliance on the outside before in this game. Wheel route that was about 54 yards to get that score on the board in the first half. So they aren't out of this yet, despite being down by 2 scores. Interested to see what the response is, though, by the offense.
PAT is good. It's 28-14 Pirates. 5:51 left to go in the game. We will be right back. You are watching Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Bulldog Football on athletics.hancockcollege.edu. I'm Charles Summer. With me is Stephen Hodges. We are filling in for the A team. We are the B team.
I mean, with you at the lead, I think it would be the C team, wouldn't
C
it?
team. Oh.
Ooh.
You're so clever.
That's what the C stands for. Charles and the clever one.
So the music's still playing here.
Artificial noisemakers allowed up until the ball is snapped.
Oh, thank you. And
almost.
Kickoff is away, and it's going to be downed in the end zone. Penalty marker coming out from the back judge at the 42-yard line.
You know what I will say about this game? It is much cleaner than I thought it would be. We started in that first quarter with a large number of personal fouls, late hits, unsportsmanlike conduct.
AKA love.
Yeah, a little love. Little back rubs on the field, back and forth. We haven't had much this game, and here it looked like a frustration penalty by the Bulldogs, so they'll have a discussion on where they want to mark this off.
Love is the word I used to my dog when I needed to stop biting. It likes to play bite. I'm like, no, Cash, love. Love. And he's like, okay.
Is your dog a hippie?
Mm-mm.
Sounds like it.
Mm-mm.
Either way, not a lot of love here on the field as we're waiting on what seemed like maybe a block in the back or some other violent penalty.
Is that Tucher out there with his arms up? Confused what's going on?
If I were to make an action figure of Coach Tucher, it'd probably be him past the numbers with his arms up. It's a pretty good pose for him in general. And still a lot of discussion going on about this penalty. They're going to the Ventura coaches. They're trying to calm down the Hancock coaches. So this seems to be going against Hancock. We'll see where they end up marking it. Even the Ventura coaches seem nonplussed about this, which is what's really throwing me for a loop.
So Bulldogs, instead of getting it at the 25-yard line, they'll get it at the 12.5-yard line. 1st and 10, 5:51 left to go, down by 2 touchdowns.
I do appreciate the little stutter set that looked like he almost marked at the 17, but just playing with us a little bit. Just making sure we're paying attention.
So Garcia out there as quarterback. One receiver on each side. Offset I formation. Handoff going up the middle. Can you pick up your player and pull him like that?
I don't. If they don't throw the flag, it's perfectly legal as they get through the tackle box. And this is really something that they got to pride themselves on, is they've been able to push the ball through the formation of the defense of a very athletic Ventura Pirates defense. So if they're able to do this against Ventura, it bodes well for the rest of the season, as we're only looking at the second game of the year right now. And that is a big gain on what seemed like a just normal between the tackles dive play.
2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Garcia back to pass, looking downfield, under pressure, skirts away, gets hit at the 16-yard line, and will go down for a loss of 2.
You know, and I think Garcia is just getting back into the flow of the offense. I mean, he's the backup quarterback. It's tough to come into a game like this, but he did have some game time against LA Valley, so he shouldn't be that rusty. And right there, his clock just seemed off. He had a solid 4 or 5 seconds. So quarterback, you're expected to get that ball off in about 3. So didn't see what he had downfield and didn't really make an option. Resulted in a sack instead.
3rd and 7. Garcia pitching it. Nothing going. Brought down behind the 10-yard line. So Bulldogs going in the wrong direction here, down by 2 touchdowns.
And that's the second time on that pitch play. We're just not seeing the running backs run with urgency. You can't block everyone on that pitch. You've got to run like you want to get to the outside. You don't have time to hesitate and look for a cutback lane on a pitch. You've got one option, and that's all the way to the outside and down the field. If you're by the goal line, they tell you, win the race to the pylon. It's a similar mentality, but you're just trying to get to the sideline.
Under 4 minutes left. Nice punt. Bouncing at the 50. Taking a Hancock bounce down to the 40. And it'll be down at the 38-yard line. Pirates will have a 1st and 10.
Cade England once again proving to be a bright spot on this special teams. Flipping the field pretty well for Hancock after a penalty really pinned them back in their own end. And then a series of unfortunate plays caused them to stall out. So Ventura's going to get this ball again. Not much time left on the clock, up by 2 scores. It's going to come down to their ability to control the ball, not turn it over, to ice this one for the Pirates.
1st and 10 Hancock, or 1st and 10 Pirates at their own 38-yard line. 2 receivers on the near side, 2 receivers on the far side. When handing the ball off a little late, Bulldogs were there immediately. It'll be a 3-yard loss in the play.
The game here for Hancock isn't just getting the tackles on these run plays. It's also managing the clock. When are you going to want to use your timeouts? When are you going to want to decide, hey, this is dire enough for us to start to burn our very finite resource? So Hancock got to be looking at that clock tick away and say, is this it? Is this it? Because clearly they're going to have a chance to get the ball back here.
When on a carry, gets a lot of yardage all the way to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, 20, 10, touch.
And a couple Hancock Bulldogs had chances to slow him and stop him. Didn't happen. And, you know, one Hancock even touched the face mask and let go, which, yes, safer thing to do, but he should have grabbed something, even if it would have been a 15-yard penalty, because the result was 7 points on the board. Well, 6 for now. We'll see about the point after here shortly.
Snap is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. It's now 35-14 with 2:48 left. We want to give some credit to Alberto Arroyo, the kicker from Carpinteria, who has been 4 for 4 on his PATs. Or 5 for 5, rather. And the Bulldogs would need a miracle right now to come back.
Well, I've seen bigger deficits in high school erased in under 2 minutes. but not quick possession here to score the other way, and a couple onside kicks. You know, I could believe in one, but two is a pretty big ask.
2:48 left. Bulldogs need a quick touchdown and an onside kick and a quick touchdown and an onside kick and a quick touchdown. Welcome to the jungle. That's what happens in the jungle, right? Crazy things.
Crazy things happen in the jungle, and you know, I could even see a return here. It's down to dire times, and this is a real gut check for the Bulldogs, as Dutra would tell you himself, and whether they're going to execute on these tough circumstances or just run the clock out and really carry some bad feelings into next week.
Return from the 5. He's at the 20, tripped up at the 25, 1st and 10.
1st and 10, and the question for the Bulldogs is, are you going to try and take a moral victory out of here, or are you going to try and force the ball and see what you got in Sanchez? As you know, their starter might not be back, and Sanchez, never mind. We are going to see the starting quarterback for Hancock come back out. Grondal limping his way onto the field, and I think they just kind of want to see what could he do in a game-winning scenario. This is not much time left on the clock, and they've got a couple wide receivers on either side, so they're definitely going to try a quick spread offense.
So, quick handoff all the way down to the 30, pile falling forward to the 31. No timeout being called. They need to rush to the line. So 6-yard pickup.
No timeout called by Hancock after the rush. I figured that was just a quick rush to blow the whistle fast and get a timeout, but not the case.
Randall faking the pass, under pressure, sacked for a huge loss inside the 20. They're going to mark him at the 20.
I looked like he had a piece of the face mask on the tackle there, but I guess they're going to rule that as just the back of the helmet, and really 3rd and long for the Bulldogs, and Grondal wisely didn't throw that. The hook was covered, but he didn't get the ball downfield where his second read was in time, where he probably would have had a good chance.
Timeout on the play. We'll keep it right here. You really got to look back at that 4th and short inside the red zone.
Down by
only one touchdown.
And, you know, I think it's going to be one of those that in retrospect they're going to look at and say, well, maybe we didn't do it because it didn't make it. And I think the idea was, well, we're in field goal range now. Let's get the field goal.
Which hadn't helped at all game long.
That, in theory, will put you up by 3, and then you get the ball back and score for the win rather than just scoring to extend the game if that drive had stalled out again by the goal line. Because you could say, well, it hadn't worked. The field goal hadn't worked for them all game, but they clearly weren't driving well enough to guarantee a touchdown on that drive either.
It's a mix-up in the music.
We could be
one receiver on each side. Center. Man in motion. A lot of movement there before the snap. Screenplay. Going towards the sideline. Brought down at the 30. And it's going to be 4th down Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs seem to be getting off their game here. I'm not sure what they're trying to get at, but this isn't really the type of play you're running if you're trying to build confidence in your offense. They haven't run a screenplay all game, and they're deciding to do it here now with about a minute left. So I'm curious into what the idea here is, and it may have just been that they're trying to take advantage of the aggression of the Pirates, but not getting it done. It's going to bring up a 4th and medium.
4th and 5. Back to pass. Grondal's pass falls incomplete. Turnover on downs. And the Pirates only need to get into victory formation and take a few knees. So the Bulldogs will fall to the Pirates 35-14 pending an aggressive move here by Ventura. and they will go on the road next week to face West LA. Game time 2 p.m.
Yeah, an afternoon game down in LA. Might be a warm one looking at the forecast. So, yeah, 2 o'clock should be a warm one. And so hopefully Bulldogs can heat themselves up a little bit getting into the rhythm of practice. This is not one that they are going to feel good about, as they had a chance to really come out and make a statement game. Instead, they end up falling to the Pirates on
And they'll have to take
deficit than this. And I think with the body language of the Bulldogs, they're just going to go ahead and let this wind down, not use any of their timeouts. And that should be it.
really good game, and it was much closer than the scoreboard shows. And some resilience by the Bulldogs defense here in the second half to keep this thing close. Great special teams series with the big punt, the block punt, and the touchdown to bring this into a one-score game, but unable to capitalize deep inside the Ventura red zone to tie the game here in the fourth quarter.
When I think the story of this game is going to come down to special teams, the good, the bad, the ugly. The punt team being able to turn the field over a couple times, pick up that block punt, tip another, and then you look at the field goal unit. 0 for 4 from various distances. Some were maybes, but there's a couple sure shots that you expect the team to make, and those slipped by. And time for Hancock to look back at what they need to fix, get it back against West LA, which, if you look on paper, should be a winnable game for them.
So final score, 35-14, Pirates of Ventura defeating the Bulldogs of Hancock. Next week, West LA at 2 p.m. The A-team will be back on the call, CJ Silas and Nick Lamica, and if they're not, now they are.
If they're not, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm available. I don't know.
Well, I'm not.
Well, there you go.
Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching Bulldog football. For our technical director, Brian Dill, athletic director, Kim Ensing, and on color, Stephen Hodges, I am Charles Summer. Have a good night.